Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dads with bacon, peoples out there, and everybody around the world, and our dedicated, no viewers. I'm totally kidding. I'm Adam, joined by Charlie. Charlie, Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas, buddy. I'm excited. It's a Colts Christmas, baby.
It's a Colts Christmas. First things first, show the people your hat. Actually, you know what? We'll save it. We're going to save the hat till later on when we're talking about it, because this podcast is... well, not this podcast. This slate is terrible. We're just going to get into it. So we were going to talk about the Saturday slate. I had that posted in the description. We're not talking about the Saturday slate. I thought it was 3 games. It's 2 games. All the good games are going to be on Christmas Day. You got the Eagles, the 49ers, the Ravens. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming Christmas Day. But for the Sunday slate, I have no clue. But it's just, it's so bad. I feel like that's really bad of me to say, but when we talk about it, you're going to see just how bad it is. Yeah, Charlie, it's not good. So with that being said, I'm going to go share this in one spot. And Charlie, we have a 9-game slate this coming Sunday. Talk to us just real quickly about why you have so much Colts gear on.
Yeah, baby. The Colts are coming on down here to the ATL. I am very, very excited about this. So, they come down to Atlanta once every 8 years. And, I went to my first Colts game when I was 5. It was the first season that the Colts played in Indianapolis. And my oldest son, AJ, is now 5. And him and I have tickets. And we have tickets. And we're going to be down there right near the tunnel where the Colts are going to come in and out. So I'm
that's cool
about this. Yeah,
that's cool. That is very cool.
It's going to be a cool thing, man. What Christmas Eve, man. It's so awesome. I love Christmas. I love the Colts. I love my kids. It's great. Yeah, very exciting.
It's going to be a ton of fun. It's honestly going to be one of the games that we're going to talk about, because this is, I'll put it politely, this slate has games we're going to want to target, and has games that's gross, just bad.
Yeah,
so,
there's not a ton of really great matchups this week on Sunday. There's a couple, but I feel like they're all going to be chalked. So it's just this is what makes this poo-poo this week.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, look, we've kind of delayed as much as we can. So let's get into it. I'm going to go over, first of all, the games that have good totals. Let me put it that way. Colts Falcons 45. Yeah, don't worry, I'll get there.
I'm going with the
Lions Vikings 47. Cowboys Dolphins 50.
See, here's the thing.
Cardinals Bears 43. Go ahead.
That 50. So you know how they have the tiebreakers and stuff for your weekly matchups and picks and all. And so I picked the points of that at 62. That's what I put for my tiebreaker. It might happen, dude.
62 for which game?
Where we're at 50. Was 51?
Yeah, Cowboys Dolphins.
Yeah. Man, if both of those offenses go off, Tyreek's gonna play.
Yeah, we'll get there. But let's get into this first. I'm gonna get right into the screen sharing, because this slate in general, and by the way, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone out there watching. We greatly appreciate it. Lots of good stuff coming in from Dads at Bacon. Aaron's got a ton of fun stuff planned for 2024. So make sure you stay tuned to all the Dads at Bacon stuff. Follow all the socials. It's Dads at Bacon. I think they dropped the TV, so I don't know. But regardless, we're here. We're ready. And to no surprise, the 2 highest priced quarterbacks are in the game with the highest total on the slate.
Yep.
Why does this not surprise me at all? Dak 79, Tua 78. Tua's going to have Tyreek back for this game.
Yes.
What do you think about these two?
Man. So, like, here's the thing. At $100 difference, I'm going to take Dak. No, Miami's defense hasn't really been that bad. It is Mr. Claus. Okay. We got the Lego Advent calendar tonight. We
That's cool.
Mrs. Claus on a snowboard. That is pretty awesome. I dig it.
I love
but
it.
Look, $100 difference. I think that Dak has more upside because while Tua and the Miami offense get it done, it doesn't translate always into points for Tua. But Dak, man, if that offense is on fire, he's getting all the points because they don't have a great run game. They should, but they don't.
I'm going to say this when it comes to last week. I was very heavy on Derrick Henry and Bijan up until Sunday morning. I got off Bijan for more Kyron and some CMC and Rashad White. I'll take my L on Derrick Henry. I'll take my L on Bijan. You know the one player I wanted to get to, Charlie, that I said is going to absolutely smash? James Cook. And I didn't get to any. And James Cook had a field day against Dallas. Now, when we talk about Miami, and like to your point, which of the quarterbacks do you want to play? Dallas's lack of an explosive run game. Sorry, Tony Pollard. Miami's explosive run game. If you're leaning stack, it's probably Dak. Hey, that rhymed. I still think I prefer Tua. I think this will be a shootout. If Dallas's rush defense gets gashed by Mostert and Achane, this game is going to be very interesting because that'll put it back on Dak and Lamb and Ferguson and Cooks, that level of a stack to go off. Tua, we know, can get there with Hill and Waddle, who went, by the way, bananas last week. I hope everyone paid attention to Sunday morning and actives. Waddle in, Hill out, Waddle in, just play Waddle. Didn't you have the stat last week about Waddle versus Slot or something?
Cover 4. Cover 4. He's a beast.
And Waddle just absolutely destroyed. That's the thing.
Hey, man, I just want to say this. My St. Brown, Waddle, Pittman, wide receiver trio from last week was stellar. If Pittman hadn't have gotten hurt, he was on pace
to crush
for like 150 yards.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
He was on pace to go absolutely nuts.
I was proud of that. And hey, St. Brown and Waddle got me there last week.
Yeah, I didn't exactly do super well on Sunday. I crushed last night. Had I knew Ronnie Rivers was back, I probably would have traded Ronnie Rivers over Royce Freeman. I had like 4x what I entered. I crushed. I had a chance of shipping in some of the lineups. It was just that Royce Freeman 0 did not help. But anyway, looking to translate that into some weekend success here. You mentioned it pre-show before I went live here. Before we went live. Justin Fields at home versus Arizona in a game that I think is going to go completely overlooked this week. 7,100. I like that price tag for Fields.
Yeah. This is the only quarterback in the 7,000s that I'm going to actually probably play. I might have Dak somewhere, but probably not. I really only like 2 quarterbacks this week. I don't know, man. It's just this.
It's a really weird slate.
Maybe 3, but yeah, I like Fields. Again, there's a lot of upside there. A lot of upside. And if I'm spending 7,100 on my quarterback, I want a lot of upside. And Arizona is not that great against the pass. So, and he's an athlete, and the Bears, they're trying to show something. You know what I mean? So Fields
is playing to stay on the team. With
Yeah,
all due respect
absolutely.
to Eberflus and whoever their GM is, they're both gone. At the end of the season, they're both done. They're going to want a clean house if they have the number 1 pick, because that's going to be a Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. decision, and that's going to affect picks 2 and picks 3. If Chicago wants to stay with Fields and whoever comes in believes in him and says, I don't need a quarterback, I need Marvin Harrison Jr., I need a playmaker to give Fields a chance, it's very interesting. So Fields has stuff to play for. He's playing for his own career, for his next starting job, and he's playing for pride. Now, when we get to the Carolina game, as a Patriots fan, I'll be rooting for Carolina the rest of the season. And I'll be rooting for the Patriots to lose, so we have the number 1 pick. So, which would be pretty cool. I'd still be trading for 2 of those picks, by the way. Don't worry. I'll make sure I'm Patriots GM before the season. Kidding. Partially. I want to be Patriots GM. I would do so much in this draft. But anyway, Fields is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks. Matchup.
Yep.
Not so much pace, but opportunity. Arizona's defense is not good. Fields, we know, has the rushing upside that I don't think Dak and Tua have. So I think it's just it's something to really keep in mind. Now, CJ Stroud has been ruled out for a 3rd consecutive week with a concussion.
Yep, he's out.
Excuse me. Case Keenum starting again. Up comes Jared Goff, 6,900. I like Goff this week.
Yeah,
on the road at Minnesota.
It's an all right matchup. He's got the weapons, and like it's like any week they could go off. I'm not like I don't think I'm going to use him. That's the other one that I was like, it's all right.
He's
it's
just
in
a very weird price range. He's just if you get to him, you get to him.
Yeah.
This is the quarterback I want to talk about.
He's not going to play.
Concussion and ankle. He's listed as questionable. He did not practice Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday doesn't surprise me. It's the Friday practice I care about, or whatever the last practice of the week is. And he was limited. So he's still in the NFL's concussion protocol. If he does not get cleared tomorrow, he's not playing.
Yeah, I thought I saw, I'm looking right now on Roto. I thought I saw they may have said that he's not going to play.
If he's leading to not playing, it's probably going to be CJ Beathard. In which case, this slate's just a mess at quarterback. While Charlie looks for that.
All right, so they're saying it's a coin flip right now.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing. So we'll see. I mean, if he can play, he's going to be out there because, it's a 3-way for the AFC South right now. They got everything to lose.
They need him out there.
Yeah, because the Jags are in the driver's seat. They lose one more game, and it might be over, though.
Yeah. I don't know if Lawrence is a generational quarterback. He had such hype coming out of college, and now he seems to have just... I mean, he's a great quarterback. I just don't know if he's going to get up into that elite tier. He's a top 12 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a good run. I mean, he's still, he's still somewhat of a work in progress. I think he's going to have a good run. I don't think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback necessarily. But, going to the playoffs a few times, I see that.
Yep. So we'll see. So keep an eye on Trevor Lawrence. I'm not playing Jordan Love against Carolina. Carolina's pass defense is really, really good.
Nope.
Their rush defense is terrible. So I'm not playing Jordan Love on the road. Kyler Murray is someone I want to talk about. I like Fields more than Murray. But how do you not? I mean, Kyler doesn't have the weapons. It's bad of me to say that Chicago has better weapons than Arizona. I can't believe I'm saying that. But if we just take a look at Arizona's wide receivers this week, Marquise Brown's already out. Greg Deutsch is questionable. He'll have some combo of Wilson, Rondale Moore, Zach Pascal. And then obviously Trey McBride, who's going to be
who's the best guy there. Priced up for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, would we pay $5,700 for an Arizona wide receiver? Yes, absolutely. Which is pretty much what Trey McBride is, but the amount of volume he gets, and we'll get there. You like Kyler Murray this week?
I mean, they may have to keep up. And McBride will do some damage. Run game's hit or miss. So, he rolled the dice at 6,400. I feel like I probably won't, because if I'm going to take a matchup like that, there's a couple that are cheaper that have just as much upside. So,
yeah. Let's get into
probably out on Murray this week.
Yeah, let's get into some of them. I assume you're not playing Sam Howell against the Jets?
No.
So we can cross off Jordan Love, cross off Sam Howell. Let's get into the 6K and below range. Baker Mayfield, 6K.
Yes. Give me some Baker Mayfield this week.
Yep.
Is my favorite matchup.
Yep. Minshew at Atlanta. Yes.
Yep.
That game's got a 44 total, I believe. So, yes. Geno, fully cleared, ready to go on the road at Tennessee. Probably not for me, but I do like his pass catchers.
Yeah. And it's a good DK could go off this week. And if he does, Geno's going to get some points from that.
I just don't know if it's GPP winning upside.
Yeah, I'd rather roll the dice with like Minshew or Mayfield, probably Mayfield, or even Flacco. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'll probably somewhere it'll be like, oh, I can put Geno right here, and I'll do it. But it's not going to be. I'm not going to try to get him in my lineup.
It's 2023, and we're playing Joe Flacco.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was talking about this talking to my buddy on the ride home from work the other day. And I was like, dude, when did he get his Super Bowl? Like 20 years ago? This guy's a starting quarterback.
2011 or 2012, somewhere around there.
Yeah, right? Like, man, dude. But he's
very confident.
Putting up some fantasy points.
He's keeping Cleveland in the hunt for the division title.
With all the other backup quarterbacks.
No kidding. Look, in all seriousness, Joe Flacco on the road at Houston. Houston's going to have Case Keenum. I don't mind it. I really, really don't. 5,500. Pair him with Cooper and Njoku. That's a solid double stack.
Njoku, for sure. We're going to talk about that at tight ends.
Yep, we'll get there. Nick Mullins. Do I think I like him more than Goff? He's cheap.
I don't know. I mean, he does throw the ball all over the place.
He's cheap. Detroit's secondary is terrible. How do we not have interest in Nick Mullins?
There will be some. So, if T-Law does not play, then I will probably have some lineups with Bethard and Mullins just to exploit the matchups, and they're cheap. Roll the dice, and that's if you go cheap on quarterback, then that's the way to do it. If they've got a really, really good, if it's going against a really weak defense, I mean, Detroit's they're winning by scoring points, not by stopping them.
Yeah. So, is there any other quarterbacks out under Nick Mullins that you like this week? Beathard,
Yeah,
Keenum,
I'll
Heineke.
take Beathard if he plays
I agree.
as a cheap quarterback.
Agreed.
That's probably it. It's just not. I don't know.
No interest in Taylor Heineke at 4,800 against the Colts.
Absolutely not.
All right, then.
You can run on the Colts. You can run on the Colts. But
we spent
we're
enough
going to
time
have
at quarterback.
7 sacks. 7. He's going to hit the ground a lot.
You feeling okay?
Absolutely.
This one over here is going to the game, Mr. 7 sacks. Are you going to go jump out of the stands and go get a sack?
The Colts are quarterback beaters, man.
You let go of Shaq Leonard.
Yeah, exactly. We're that good that we let go of him. Exactly.
I'm not going there.
All the other guys on the team have more sacks than him. Turnovers.
Oh, boy.
You know what the turnover streak is? 19 games in a row with a turnover, with an interception or a fumble. Yeah.
Anyway, as we move on to running back, no CMC, no Kamara, no Eckler, none of these high-end running backs. Rashad White, 7,400 is our highest priced running back this week. He's getting the volume, Charlie. He's getting the volume.
It brings me so much joy to see Rashad White at the very top of the list.
Yep.
Because he belongs there. I want to thank Rashad White for being my fantasy beast this season.
Yep.
Every single team I have him on is in the playoffs. Every time I've put him in a lineup, just about, I've won money. This guy is golden. That is your league winner. People talk about what a league winner is. That is your league winner. The guy you picked up in round 9, who is RB4 on the season.
Oh, yeah. I'm not arguing with you. I was trying to give you the spotlight to go, but hang on. Here you go. I'm gonna give you the spotlight. I'm trying to give you the spotlight. It will not let me give you said spotlight. Why will it not let me give you said spotlight?
It's all good. That guy right there, that's the kind of guy you want to draft to win in your season-long leagues. Those are the guys. We say opportunity is king. That's it right there. That's the king of the crop.
Go.
Right there.
Talk away. Talk away. There you go. Solo spotlight. Go for it.
Sir. You have been a fantasy animal all season long. If you drafted him in season long, you are probably in the playoffs. I know that I am. If you've played him in your money lineups, you've probably made money. I know that I did. The guy is a beast. Opportunity is king. This is why.
Yep.
You guys come to me before you draft next season. We'll talk about those guys. They're going to be that next guy.
Let's just go over the opportunities for Rashad White. 20 attempts at Carolina. No surprise. At Atlanta, at home versus Carolina, 20 attempts for 84 yards and a touchdown. 5 targets, 3 receptions for 22 yards. He's used in the passing game, folks. 25 rushing attempts at Atlanta, 102 yards, 2 targets, 2 receptions, and a receiving touchdown. Had a fumble. At Green Bay, you can run on Green Bay. We say this the last couple of years. Well, it feels the last couple of years. 21 rushing attempts for 89 yards, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. What is there not to like about him?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
So if he goes overlooked, I'm going to have him in my lineup. Now, once again, it's the Miami backfield. I don't know if I feel as strongly about the Miami backfield that I did about James Cook last week. This is still Mostert's backfield. But one thing that's interesting to note is Achane is being utilized in the passing game. 4 targets, 9 targets, 3 targets. We look at Mostert. 1 target, 2 targets. But he's getting the rushing attempts. We know both of them have a ceiling. 7,300 for Mostert, 7,100 for Achane. I think it's Achane. I don't know what to do with this backfield.
I don't know. So for me, I think Mostert's probably a little bit better play because he gets the touchdowns, but Dallas is tough against the run. And if Miami's going to beat
take my W on James Cook last week. I'll take my W.
Yeah. What I was going to say though, if Miami's going to beat them, they're going to have to kind of spread it around. They're going to have to, I think, use their passing back a bit more.
I agree.
So it's worth it to roll the dice on Achane because he could blow up. I like Mostert's floor a lot more.
Mostert's the floor play without more upside. Achane is the low floor, high upside, slate breaking type performance.
I don't know
how many either of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know how many. Like, I will try to get Rachaad White in a lineup because he just does the dang thing every week, and I'm hoping that they're gonna beat up on Jax, but I don't know how many 7K guys I'm gonna have in my lineup. Like, because when I look down, for me, it really probably starts with the king and then goes down from there.
Yeah. So you have no interest in Taylor, Gibbs, or Montgomery?
I mean, all right, look, I'm going to be at the Colts game, so I'm going to have Taylor. I'm going to have my Colts like in a lot of lineups.
Yeah,
but that's just me personally, and I'm come Sunday, I'm not going to be worried about whether I'm winning or not. So that's just going to be a fun day for me. But like I'll put together a couple of lineups.
I like Taylor
win
this
something,
week.
and I haven't put Taylor in there yet because I don't know. I like Henry and Montgomery are a bit cheaper. I like them a little bit more as far as
what he did before
value.
Yeah, but
a lot of it's my wide receiver.
Yeah, just don't forget what Taylor did before he went out with injury.
Oh yeah,
okay.
He's a beast. He's
Cleveland,
awesome. He is
18.
Awesome.
So these are great rush defenses, okay? Great to elite. Cleveland, New Orleans, New England, and Tampa.
He's so good.
Cleveland, 18 attempts, 75 yards and a touchdown, 4 targets. New Orleans, 12 attempts for 95 yards, 2 targets and a reception. Carolina's Carolina. New England, 23 attempts for 69 yards. That was the 10-6 game. He got the volume. Tampa Bay, 15 for 91 and 2. Now, I don't know if Vita Vea was active for that game or not.
It was not.
I still like Jonathan Taylor this week. It's Atlanta.
So
I like Taylor more than Mostert, Achane for sure. Maybe more than Gibbs and Montgomery.
What worries me about Taylor is, so first, what he's saying, he's like, look, if the thumb's not like ready to go, I'm not going to play. That's what he said, earlier today. So there's that, and like, well, I think he's going to play. I don't know what his share of opportunity is going to be. That's why I'm a little because they eased him back in when he came back from the injury the first time this season, and we get Pittman's coming back as well, so they may just ease him in. That's my only thing with him this week.
Yep.
Next week I'm going to be all over him.
Pay attention Sunday morning for updates. Plain and simple. Gibbs and Montgomery, I'm probably staying away from this week. I would play Gibbs over Montgomery. It's Gibbs' backfield now.
No, I like Montgomery. I think he's going to get 2 touchdowns.
That's fair. I just have no interest in either, but I can see it. I'm going to go right back to the well on Derrick Henry.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I hate Tennessee, but the King is good.
I'm going right back to the well on him. It stinks he didn't pay off last week. 16 attempts for 9 yards. I'll chalk that up as an outlier.
It's because he didn't get the touchdowns. He's had 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games before that. He didn't get the touchdown.
16 attempts, 9 yards.
Yep.
9. Didn't even reach double digits in rushing yards. He reached double digits in total yards, and that's 10. I'm going right back to the well on Derrick Henry, and I'm chalking up last week as an outlier.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
Right back to the well on Derrick Henry this week. I like Henry more than Rashad White and everyone we've talked about. Let's get into the rest of this range. Let's just get into the rest of the range here real quick. Let's talk about Pollard, ETN, Zach Moss, Aaron Jones, Bijan Robinson.
So I don't think Moss is going to play.
You do or don't?
I don't. It doesn't sound like it.
So Pollard, ETN, I'm a no on.
Yeah, same here.
Aaron
Tampa
Jones.
Bay is good against the run. Tampa Bay is good against the run.
Running backs versus Carolina. Yes, please.
Yep. And he's off the injury report, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Right. Listen,
and Dylan's not.
I'm going to grab my mic.
AJ Dillon might not play.
I'm going to grab my mic. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to talk to you, Charlie, and the people. What the F are we doing with Bijan Robinson this week? Why has Arthur Smith not been fired yet?
He won't be.
Why is Bijan not getting 25 attempts a game? He played Carolina last week. Why was he not more utilized in the game plan? Why?
I don't know, but I hope it continues this week.
So frustrating! Play Bijan! Smith, what are you doing? I will say, Arthur Smith, thank you. As a Patriots fan, thank you, Arthur Smith, for allowing the Panthers to win. Thank you. How 7 attempts? 7!
Might have been, man. You know, it might have been another one of those games where he had he had the headache or whatever.
It's Carolina. They suck against the run. Why? It's now Indy, who also is terrible against the run, and I want to go back to Bijan. Oh, what the F? Charlie! Do I play Bijan this week or Algier? I can't believe I'm even saying that.
I'm not playing either of them. I'm not touching the Falcons running backs anymore.
You're going to the game. Play
There's
Bijan.
Always a better option than the bird.
Oh. Why? Oh, it's so frustrating. This should be a crush spot if it was any other coach other than Arthur Smith.
It really would. I probably play Algier this week, though.
Oh, 25. He should be getting 25 attempts a game against these terrible rush defenses. And Arthur Smith likes to run the ball, so what's happening?
That's what I don't get. I thought he's going to bring Bijan in. This is going to be the next Derrick Henry right here. This is the King 2.0. And it has not used him like that at all. It makes me wonder if there's got to be something like, is he maybe slow to pick up the playbook or something? Is there something going on? Or when they're talking about he was sick, apparently it was headaches. I wonder if the dude gets migraines or something. I mean, that happens. You know what I mean?
True.
And stuff. It's and that kind of thing can be debilitating at point.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
maybe there's something to it that we just don't know.
I don't know, but
There's
look,
really a
I don't
rhyme
like
to the reason.
I don't like saying anyone should get fired. I don't. Arthur Smith should get fired. He's not good.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he gets one more season no matter what.
Why? He's done nothing.
The story,
Why?
so the story down here is that what his plan to blank was, and that he was going to see it out, is that he's needed 3 years to develop the team and the players, and then on the 4th year, that's when they're going to get it done.
You haven't developed Kyle Pitts. You haven't developed Drake London. You're not developing Bijan. When is this going to take effect?
But Arthur Blank's a good dude, and if that's the agreement
I agree.
I feel like Blank would allow him, like, all right, he's going to be at the end of the season. You got your 3 years to get your personnel in and all of that. Now y'all got to do the damn thing, or you out. That's why I just think he'll get one more season. I keep hearing that story down here. We'll see.
Look, we're talking about
But
firing or trading Bill Belichick. We're talking about firing or trading Bill Belichick. And he's the greatest NFL coach of all time. You can argue he's the greatest coach in any sport of all time. And we're thinking about letting him go off after a terrible season and after 3 down years and a wasted pick on Mac Jones for not developing him. Great rookie season. No offensive coordinator last year. Brings in one this year that, I was just saying, good, it's an offensive coordinator. I don't get it. I don't. But anyway, I'm probably going back to the well on Bijan this week. Now that the entire Bijan hour is over, let's talk about Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, James Conner, and Chuba Hubbard. I love Chuba Hubbard this week.
You like Chuba? I'll take some. Yeah, I'll take some chances on Chuba.
Running backs versus Green Bay.
Yeah.
Now,
I like
Breece Hall, 6,100. Zach Wilson is out. Trevor Siemian is starting. Trevor Siemian is a competent, good NFL. He's a good NFL quarterback. Breece Hall, look at the rushing attempts the last few weeks. 10 rushing attempts, 7, 13, 10, and 6. Look at the targets. 6, 9, 8, 9, 2.
9, man. Twice 9.
This kid needs to get more involved. Now, if we look at Dalvin Cook, who's 4,400, he hasn't been getting the attempts either. They're not utilizing the rushing game at all. I would still take chances on Breece Hall, but he's not one I'm going to force in. If I feel by Sunday that this is going to be the Breece Hall like James Cook last week, I'm going to learn my mistake from last week, and I'm going to force him in. I don't know if I'm at that point yet with Breece Hall this week, but I'm going to have a ridiculous amount of Chuba. I'm going to have a lot of Aaron Jones. I'm going to have Derrick Henry. That might be my core.
I'm going to try. I'm going to have some Gibson too.
Well, let's talk about the Washington running backs on the other side of that game with Brian Robinson Jr. still out dealing with a hamstring injury. Look, we saw Justin Jefferson have a hamstring injury. It sidelined him for 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rush players back from hamstring injuries. It's a soft tissue injury. You can't do it. Now, look, Gibson, 5,200 last week with Brian Robinson out. 4 attempts, 15 yards, 5 targets, caught all of them for 20 yards. If we take a look at Chris Rodriguez Jr., 10 rushing attempts for 35 yards, was not utilized in the passing game.
Yep. 0 targets.
0 whatsoever. Williams was used once. Derek Gore wasn't even used.
Nope.
You can run on the Jets. At least according to the OPRK rankings. I think I'm going back to the well on Rodriguez Jr. more as a pure runner. Gibson's definitely more of a pass catcher, but it will be Gibson's backfield as the starter. I think I would just rather Rodriguez Jr. if I'm going to, punt a running back spot. Or if I'm like, say, I want to get a lot of high-priced wide receiver tight ends. I can probably go with Chris Rodriguez. I don't like this game in general, but it's definitely something to talk about because Rodriguez offers value. Is it good value? Who knows? But that's something to talk about. Would you go with Gibson or Rodriguez if you were playing one of them?
I like Gibson. I think he's gonna have more than 5 targets this game, and he'll pay off a little bit more. I think that there's more upside with him, and I think that he'll probably have more rushing attempts as well. Like I said, It's going to be his backfield. It's going to be the starter. I really like his matchup. I don't really like anybody else in this game other than these 2 running backs. Really, him and Hall. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Let's get to the rest of the running backs very quickly. So let's get to the rest of the running backs very quickly. A.J. Dillon is listed as questionable. If Dillon's out, you just play a ridiculous amount of Aaron Jones.
Absolutely.
He's listed as questionable. It's a 1:00 game. We'll know by Sunday morning. Devin Singletary has been solid. Not doing it against Cleveland.
No.
Not doing it against Cleveland. Not playing Ty Chandler against Detroit. I think for me, the cutoff point with running backs this week is Chuba Hubbard. And then again, value, I'm probably going to take shots on a Spears, Algier, or Rodriguez.
Yeah.
What did Algier do last week? Foot? They used Algier more than they used Bijan.
Tell you, man, I would play Algier this week because the Colts are bad against the run.
Yes, and it should be Bijan that torches them. Sorry. But I don't know where I'm going. I think I'm probably going as low as Rodriguez, but I really don't want to play any of the 3 of them. Spears, Algier, and Rodriguez are the 3 I would take shots on. That's it. There's no one else. I'm not playing Miles Sanders, and there's no one else down here. Anything for you?
No, I'm gonna have some Spears in there every now and then, just because he's got a good matchup, and you never know. He might have one of those games, he might not, but I'm gonna roll the dice on him because he's cheap.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's a very talented running back.
Yeah, he is. He's a good athlete, man.
Let's do it. We were talking about running back enough. Let's get into wide receiver here.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill is listed as questionable. Should play. He should play on Sunday. Against Dallas, they're going to need him. He's 9,600. CeeDee Lamb is 92 after only having, really not much of anything last week. He had a rushing touchdown.
At the end, a garbage time rushing touchdown, right?
If he doesn't get that rushing touchdown, this looks a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to get 20 to 25 points, in my opinion, at minimum, to pay off 9,200. St. Brown, 8,200. Jefferson, 8,100. Why is Jefferson 8,100? I don't know. You know what Justin Jefferson did last week? 10 targets, 7 receptions. Didn't get a touchdown. Had 84 yards. JJ's back.
Yep.
JJ's back. Oh, and by the way, he had a chest injury last week, remember? He was recovering from 10 targets, 7 receptions for 84 yards. Like I said, Mullins, Jefferson, Hawkinson. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm probably going to end up on St. Brown and Jefferson, but these top 4 wide receivers, What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm a little worried Hill's on a snap count. I know, we all know he wants to play, but Waddle is a really good receiver as well. So we'll see how that game goes. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to take any chances on him because he's 9,600. And I really like St. Brown this week a lot. So the list probably starts for me there. And I like JJ too. That's a lot to spend on just two receivers. But you definitely gonna need to have one of those two guys in there. And if you can get both of them in there, then you probably are going to be starting Tajay Spears as one of your running backs. And good luck to you. I'm going to try to figure out how to do it, but we'll see if it's possible.
I agree. All right, let's talk
Nick
about Jalen.
Mullins.
Yeah. Jalen
Yep.
Waddle, Mike Evans, Pittman, who should
Yeah,
play,
baby.
DJ Moore, Nico Collins is listed as questionable. I'm not playing anyone from Cleveland, Houston. I'm saying that right now. It's an 8-game slate for me. I'm not playing Cleveland, Houston.
Oh, I'm playing somebody from that game.
I am playing probably 0. That game has a 40 total.
Thou shalt not deny the tight end with 14 targets.
Oh, yeah. Njoku. Forgot about him.
Yeah.
See, this is how much I pay attention to Njoku. Michael Pittman is 7,400. If he's healthy, he's a play. Now, look, he's going to most likely have double coverage. He's going to have to deal with AJ Terrell. He's going to have to deal with one of the safeties. Go ahead.
Him drawing double coverage is going to open it up for a kid coming to play for his first time in the NFL in his hometown.
Josh Downs has already played.
Huh?
Has Pittman never played in Atlanta?
Not for the NFL team. He's a rookie.
Really?
This is his first NFL game in Atlanta.
Wow.
But he's played in. I'm sure North. Let's see, North Gwinnett. They've played down there in Mercedes-Benz.
Huh. Either way, Pittman gets peppered with targets. He was on pace to crush last week. I'm going right back to the well on Michael Pittman. Mike Evans is a really good play against Jacksonville.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if I can get there at 76.
Evans. I want to put Brown with Evans if I can. St. Brown and Evans, I really like.
It'll be interesting. DJ Moore, obviously, he's be part of my Justin Fields stack, so I'll probably have him in some one-offs. Can we please talk about how DK Metcalf is probably going to torch the slate?
Yes.
He destroyed.
I feel like he's got to be chalk, right? This week.
I have no idea. Now look, last week was with Drew Lock. No disrespect to Drew Lock. Geno Smith plus DK Metcalf versus Tennessee pass defense, which has gotten better this year. We've talked about this.
We're still not great.
I think Metcalf can absolutely torch that secondary.
I do too. I completely agree. He's gonna have a big game.
Yep. Amari Cooper. Again, Flacco, Cooper, then Joker.
Got something.
I forgot all about them. This is how much I want to play Cleveland.
I may roll it up. The thing is that if I can get Metcalf, I'm going to take Metcalf and
over Cooper. Yes.
If I have, if like my flex, that's what I've got, like 64, 6,500. That's probably who I'm going to put in there. Flacco's slinging the rock, man, and this guy's a big beneficiary of that, as well as Njoku.
Yep.
So, but the thing is that I still go back to that narrative. Cooper just doesn't play as well on the road.
I might just have Njoku one-offs again. Or maybe Flacco and Njoku with no run back.
Yep, Flacco and Njoku. I'm going to stack somewhere. Oh, show.
I like Calvin Ridley. I like Chris Godwin.
I only like Ridley if T-Law plays.
I like Ridley better if T-Law doesn't play.
Yeah.
But anyway, Calvin Ridley's in a great spot. Obviously, it's the Tampa pass funnel. Chris Godwin, I think, is going to go overlooked this week. I like DeAndre Hopkins. This is the 6K range. It's got a lot of good players in it.
D-Hop's not bad. I feel like this is a week where you're going to have 4 wide receivers.
Possibly. I will say this. Levis is questionable. Keep that in mind. If Levis can't go, it's going to be Tannehill. Levis is dealing with a high ankle sprain. He's probably not playing. Is that like Hopkins more if Tannehill's in? I don't know.
I'm cool either way. I feel like I'm with D-Hop in his matchup this week. I'll take him with either guy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at 61.
Yeah, let's keep going. Addison's fine if you want to play him. Garrett Wilson, 5,800. Washington is one of the worst teams in the NFL against perimeter wide receivers. I will be playing Garrett Wilson. Don't you know me?
Not me.
Don't you know me?
Nope. It's a trap. I'm telling you. It's a trap.
I'm playing Garrett Wilson. You playing Tyler Lockett?
Yeah, I might.
Same matchup as DK.
Yep.
But I think we're seeing JSN emerge and Lockett starting to fade away.
Yeah, it's definitely trending in that direction.
And that stinks because Lockett's a really good player. He's still getting the volume. It's not converting. It just could be a slump for him. He's still getting the target volume.
Is it a slump or is it a decline? He's getting.
I don't know. I don't know. Because like JSN isn't doing anything with his targets. Lockett can do more than JSN, but JSN's really talented. That Seattle offense is in limbo without a better quarterback than Geno.
Yeah.
Anything else here on wide receivers? There's a lot of red here. Josh Downs, he's fine.
I love Josh Downs this week. I absolutely do.
He's fallen off from the start of the year.
On a hunch. He's healthy.
Got it.
He's showing out at home. That's the thing. Mommy, daddy, they're going to be in the stands, brothers, sisters, aunts, aunties, all that stuff. Like friends. And
is he from Atlanta?
Yeah, he went to high school in North Gwinnett. It's right down the street from our work.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's from like Metro Atlanta. He grew up in like Metro Atlanta.
There you go. So Downs is interesting.
Actually, matter of fact, dude, I worked with a kid that played football with him.
There you go.
One of the little wash guys that we had. He was a good kid too. He was a good kid.
All right, well, let's wrap this up here. Let's talk about cheap wide receivers. Talk about JSN. I think London's okay. Cooks is fine at 4,900. I don't mind that. I'm not playing anyone from Washington. If I do, it's probably Curtis Samuel.
I like Cooks.
Cooks, yep, absolutely.
He'll free up some money to get those other big receivers in. That's why I like Cooks. And if Dallas is going to win, Cooks is going to have a decent game.
Yeah. Parker Washington is starting to emerge. A kid that I was not high on, but I thought would be solid. So he's starting to emerge a bit here in Jacksonville. He's getting the targets. There's just no one down here I want. If you want to take shots on Jonathan Mingo, the dude is still getting the targets.
They just can't move the ball through the air, though.
No.
It's like, I mean, you can roll the dice on him if you really want to, but I would probably take Tillman because he at least can do something.
This one over here wants to play Tillman.
Over Mingo right now, they just don't move the ball.
Cedric Tillman is getting some target volume. He's starting to get integrated more in the offense, but still a rookie. Might be better year two. Westbrook Akine is on IR. Where the heck is Burks? Is Burks on IR? Oh, he's 3,100.
Wow.
Chris Moore is more expensive than Treylon Burks.
Man, dude.
It's a shame.
That's so crazy. Think about like this is where we're at in the fantasy season. You know what I mean? Like this guy, he should be 5K, in the 550 at least, right?
Yeah.
Like, where are we?
I don't know. Let's get into
all
tight end,
how the
though.
mighty have fallen.
Yep, let's get into tight end. Sam Laporta, 6,400. Hawkinson, 58. McBride, 57. Ingram, 54. And then Njoku, 53.
Thanks, FanDuel, for pricing me out on all of my favorite tight ends.
DraftKings, you mean?
Or yeah, DraftKings. My bad. I play both.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I like Trey McBride and Njoku of any of the five.
Yeah, no, I do. No, okay, so I love Laporta and Hawkinson. I don't at this point, I don't care what their matchups are. This is a real conundrum for me because I have both of them on my home league in season long. I still don't know which one of these two I'm going to start. But they're just priced up. It's not the greatest matchups. They're okay matchups, but they're priced up, especially Laporta. I mean, he belongs at the top. But Njoku has got 14 freaking targets last week. Even if you digress a little, by like 50%, still 7 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So I just love all that opportunity. We've talked about it. Flacco's out there doing the thing, man.
He's getting it done.
Yeah. So, that's where the tight end list, that's really where I think it begins. I mean, if you got 5,700 and you can get McBride in, he's got a great matchup. But yeah, Ferguson, I like too, but Komet, I'm waiting on. If Komet plays, I'm gonna have some in it because at any time, man, he can get you a touchdown in 30, 40 yards. And I'm cool with that from my tight end if I'm paying in the 4K range.
Komet's fine. I like Kate Otten at 33.
Kraft.
Tucker Kraft is 37 against Carolina. He's fine. I don't know if I like anyone else down here.
I'm going to have Granson somewhere.
Kylan Granson, 26.
I'm not giving up hope on that guy.
I don't blame you. All right. It'll also be a lot better when Jelani Woods is back for you next year.
Yeah. This week, though, man, Njoku, and he's going to be so chalk, but you got it. I mean,
I'm going to try playing McBride if I can.
Yeah,
no Marquise Brown. No Marquise Brown. It's probably going to be Njoku, not Njoku. It's going to be McBride. Most likely, it's going to get a bulk of the targets from Kyler. So that's just my opinion. Like, it's probably going to end up being Kyler, Connor, McBride. So, I don't know. It's rather interesting. Let's get into our picks and let's get out of here.
Pass catcher.
Huh?
McBride is their best pass catcher. That's the
right
best
now, yes.
Offensive weapon.
Yep. Right now, yes.
And he's good tight end, man. I like him.
Yep.
I just think for Njoku, man, is just right now on fire. I'm gonna take advantage of that while I can.
Absolutely. Let's get into our picks. Let's get into our pick segment. 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a defense. Charlie, start us off. Two quarterbacks.
Is there 2 quarterbacks that we can play this week?
Your 2 favorite quarterbacks this week.
My 2 favorite quarterbacks this week are probably Baker Mayfield and Gardner Minshew.
There you go. Mine are Fields. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's Fields and Flacco.
I love both of those guys too.
This slate sucks. Running backs. Sorry, I know I shouldn't swear. My apologies. The slate stinks. But it's either Flacco or Mullins, but it's probably Flacco if Flacco's proven it. Running backs. Who are your two favorite running backs this week?
So I mean, we've already talked about the king. You know, I mean that's where it is. So I do like I like Aaron Jones a lot, and I like Montgomery. I just think he's gonna get a couple of touchdowns.
There you go. I like Jonathan Taylor, obviously Derrick Henry, and I want to say Bijan. I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard. It's a running back versus Green Bay. But yes, Bijan, honorable mention. And Breece Hall as well. I mean, the running backs are kind of condensed this week, in my opinion.
I like Breece Hall.
Yep. All right.
He's a good play this week.
2 wide receivers that you like.
2 wide receivers. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown this week. That is my guy. And I'm going out there with it. Josh Downs.
I like it.
Save some money. Look for that big game.
It's going to be DK Metcalf for me. And Justin Jefferson because he's back. He's getting targets. I'm going to go honorable mention Mike Evans. All right, one tight end that you like. I think the people know the 2 tight ends we're going to pick. Who's your tight end?
It's David Njoku.
Yeah. Who's your favorite tight end that you like this week? Say it louder.
Njoku, the Joker.
I'm going with Trey McBride. Defenses. It's a defense. Play a defense.
Play the Colts defense. If you can afford it,
3,800. 3,800. There you go.
You're fantasy beast right now.
Um,
Keeping that turnover streak alive.
As crazy as this sounds, I like the Panthers defense. Green Bay at Carolina. Crazy. It's under a 40 total. I don't hate it, and it's 2,400. If Trevor Lawrence is out, I would not be opposed to taking shots on the Bucs defense.
Oh, I've already got the Bucs defense in a lineup or two. They are a staple for me. They're a good defense, and they're usually priced down. Usually.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks, that's going to do it here for this week. Charlie, it's week 16. We have one more week of the regular season to go. Or is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks. We got 18 weeks now.
Well, 18 weeks of fantasy, 17 weeks for the players. 2 weeks left. Let's go make some money. I'm going to see if I can translate some of that success I had last night in Showdown into some success this weekend. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.